Junkrat is the most chaotic hero in Overwatch 2.
Yes, it's out. Oh, I got her!
Season 2 of Overwatch was recently released alongside Ramatra, and with it came a brand new patch. Doomfist and Tracer received massive buffs, likely pushing them into the meta. However, a hero that received no changes is silently terrorizing ranked with his insane burst combo and scary high damage output. Junkrat is by no means the best DPS in the game, but for all the projectile players out there, he is by far one of the best choices. Junkrat's skill ceiling is usually underrated because of the community's perception of his brainless gameplay, but the possibility of hitting mid-air shots and understanding the arc of your grenades is severely undervalued. Being able to spam any choke with tons of damage isn't very hard at all, but there are tons of angles and bounces that can provide you value that most other Junkrats simply won't be getting. One of the main reasons Junk is in such a good state is because of the power and frequency of his one-shot combo. This involves shooting one of your primaries and concussion mines at the same time at the same target. Blow up your concussion mine at the same time as when your primary fire hits, resulting in an instant one-shot with no chance for any heals. This is only applicable to heroes under 240 HP, so, don't go around trying to one-shot heroes like Reaper and Bastion. They're just gonna survive or wraith away. This combo is also very good at applying really high pressure onto any tank, and it's also a lot easier to land the combo on tanks over squishies. And while, using both combos on a tank is easy, you can usually find more value in the actual fight by looking for the squishies with it. That combo would be strong enough on its own, however, Junkrat has 2 concussion mines on the same shared cooldown. This allows for the possibility of hitting 2 simultaneous combos and instantly killing 2 people, which essentially just ends the fight.
Thank you for your patronage.
The utility of 2 concussion mines also allows for you to miss your primary and still have a chance to throw out your second mine and confirm the kill. The target's going to be knocked back if they aren't one-shots, so you're going to have to aim it a little bit, but the radius is still pretty forgiving, so it's not too difficult.
Scattered to the wind.
Junkrat's mobility is another underutilized aspect of his kit. Using one mine to, quickly fly across the map and go for a one-shot on an isolated target is very strong, and if you use it correctly, a lot of people are going to struggle to actually find you when they hear that first mine explode.
Hold this a minute.
You can use this strategy against heroes like Widow, and your hit scan that are sitting on high grounds, and potentially even flyers like Pharah and Echo to try and shut down what most people would consider Junk's hardest counters in the game. Quick tip for a concussion mine: place one on the floor of spawn or straight on the door of control maps like this, and wait for both mines to come back off cooldown. You're just going to have to place it a little early in the round. This is going to give you a triple mine out of spawn, which lets you get to the fight quicker, especially on control and push. It's really, really important because it's going to allow you to start spamming those chokes before enemies are even there. You're going to get a lot of poke damage in. So the most underused part of Junkrat's kit by far is his trap. Most people just, place it down and hope for the best, and this can be valuable in a mid-fight, as most people aren't going to see you throw it out and all the chaos that's going on, but it has another use that is often not thought about. It's extremely good at denying people a route to chase you after you go on a little flank. So let's say you're taking an off-angle flank and you mess up your one-shot and you've got to leave, right? Throw out your trap around the corner, and people are either going to have to shoot it before chasing you, which is going to buy you a couple extra seconds to escape, or they're not going to be aware that you threw it. They're going to walk into it, and that might allow you to bounce some shots off the wall or just direct them and actually secure a kill. Or you're still just going to get away. You don't have to go for the kill in that situation. Trap's also a very useful tool against dives and flankers. A lot of the time you can, just place the trap right at the feet of, you or your supports, and it's going to help them a lot against heroes like Genji, Doom, and Tracer. Doom and Tracer obviously are very, very strong right now, so this is something you should look to do very often. Junk's flank potential is so high because of his burst combo. He makes it impossible for almost any DPS to take a 1v1 in any confined space. The trick is to not let yourself getting caught using the same flanks back to back. People are gonna adapt and eventually sniff you out and punish you. So use different routes and various map geometry to set yourself up for the one-shot combo. It's also important not to flank every single fight, as it's going to start to become predictable. You're going to struggle to provide early value and chokes if you're constantly looking to flank, so don't do it all the time. So knowing what fights you should look to flank in, also very important. Ult economy is one of the more important factors in this. So let's say enemy team is going into a fight with overclock, and your team doesn't really have anything to answer it. Go ahead and look for a flank onto the Sojourn, or really, any of the squishies to try and give your team a man advantage in a fight that was going to be at a disadvantage because of the ult economy. Alright, it's time to go ahead and look at Junkrat's matchups. Obviously, we all know he's going to struggle against the flying characters, long-range hit scan. I really like the matchup with Junker Queen and Ramatra because of their lack of mobility and, super long cooldowns, which makes them very easy to punish if they're not getting really, really quick value. Tracer's a hard duel, but using his mines is a really great deterrent to try and, force that recall early. So if they have a Tracer, or even like a Genji, the flankers, try and save one of your mines for when they're going on your supports. Okay, let's finally go ahead and talk about Riptire. It's always been a decently strong ult since the start of the game, but a lot of players still struggle to use it properly. I see way too many junks try and get those tires that are going to light up the kill feed with 3 or 4 kills, but most of the time the people grouped up aren't actually the ones you want to go for, because they're going to have options to either burst it down before it gets to them, or just shut it down entirely with cooldowns like Kiriko's Protection Suzu, or Baptiste's Immortality Field.
Fire in the hole!
You just want to look to maneuver the tires safely around the map, and once you find that one target that lacks an escape or invulnerability cooldown, just, secure the kill. Getting a man advantage has always been strong in Overwatch, and that's the case even more so with the recent switch to 5v5. Okay, quick tip for Tire. Don't instantly start moving it around the second you press Q. This is when the tire's loudest and also the easiest to look for. When you press Q, just run it directly into a wall and wait a second so its noise is reduced. This is going to make it harder for enemies to track it, and easier for you to kind of stealth your way across the map and over rooftops and stuff to secure a kill. Go ahead and change the setting Riptire automatically climbs walls. Switch that to on. This is going to let you climb walls a lot faster and easier with your tire, and it just gives you so much more mobility when you're using it. Alright, that is going to do it. Hopefully you guys can start to see what makes Junkrat so strong right now. I think he's a really big sleeper pick in the meta. He's got, really steady damage, great burst potential, very solid ult. We'll see how the meta ends up shaking out, but if Doom and Tracer stay as strong as they are, I can see him being a really solid counter pick, especially with the way Doomfist interacts with Trap. And his burst potential is also really, really strong against Doom as well. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're watching this when it comes out, I am streaming over on Twitch, so if you want to come over and say hi, link is going to be in the description. All right. Hope you guys all have a good day. I will catch you next time.